Georgia's Governor Brian Kemp officially signing the heartbeat bill, prohibiting abortions once the heartbeat is detected.
All right, now several production companies and more than 100 actors vowing to boycott any filming in the state. Here's what Georgia Senator David Perdue had to say earlier on this show.
These companies are there for a reason. Georgia does more traditional movie production than any other state, including California. It's ironic that several of these companies that are threatening to boycott have yet to do business in Georgia. Well, it just shows the rhetoric is more important than reality. This is not a radical right or liberal left issue here in Georgia. It's a moral issue, and I think the people of Georgia have spoken.
Here to react is Dean Cain, actor and executive producer of Gosnell. Good morning to you.
Good morning. You guys look great and sunny in this rainy New York weather.
That's a guy that's leaving to go to sunny
back
California.
To LA. Yes, sir.
So what do you, go ahead.
You did the movie about Dr. Gosnell who performed all those abortions, and you are an actor. So what do you think about what's happening in Georgia and these actors saying we're going to boycott?
I think the senator said it pretty well. I think it's pretty interesting that there are several companies who are saying we're going to boycott that have never filmed there. I thought that was hysterical. But, you know, it's very simple. The Georgia voters put their legislators in place. They legislated this. It passed their House. It went to their governor. The governor campaigned saying, I would sign this if it's passed. He got in. He signed it. It's these people of Georgia made they made their mark. They made their decision, and that's what they did. Now we have Hollywood coming in and saying, listen, we want you to have our values. We're going to tell you what you should do and how you should do it in your state. I don't think they understand, the civics very well. They don't know how it works. They're going to pull their money out, or they say they will. There's a huge infrastructure in Georgia, and if what the senator said is right, there's more production there than in Los Angeles. Yeah. It ain't going to happen.
Well, I think there are 7 states now where they have a heartbeat bill on the books. What it does is it establishes when life begins, essentially, personhood, which is at 6 weeks. The people who are pro-abortion, they don't like that.
No, they don't like that at all. And look, it doesn't. But here's the thing: whether you agree with the bill or not, and then this is the point for Georgia is. That's what the state decided. Those voters decided that. So you can't listen. Hollywood pretending to be the bastion of of moral superiority is an absolute joke, because Hollywood is not by any stretch of the imagination.
So how would you feel, with that governor of Virginia who mysteriously is still in his job? So how would you feel about doing something in Virginia, knowing that he's okay with a baby being born and slowly taking its life?
Listen, my job is my job. I would go to work there. If I didn't like that, I would speak out against it. But it wouldn't stop me from going to work. Not at all. And listen, I don't agree with Governor Northam at all. And it's kind of something that Kermit Gosnell did. Kermit Gosnell looks at Ralph Northam and goes, yeah, that's exactly kind of what I was doing, except he was going a little more proactive and snipping the spinal cords. But I wouldn't tell a state what they had to do. I understand the idea of federalism. I understand the idea of states' rights. And I don't think Hollywood should be telling anybody what they should do. And I promise you, listen, Hollywood's a bottom-line town. It's money. Now, some of these people are people I like and respect tremendously, but I just disagree with them completely.
Well, keep in mind, Hollywood wanted Stacey Abrams to win.
Yeah, well,
where
is some of that money going right now to Stacey Abrams and her organization to help fight that? So she didn't win, although she hasn't gotten that memo yet. I don't think she did not. She
has not admitted
that. Governor Kemp won, and he signed it into law, and that's the way it works.
And that's what we're talking about today. All right, Dean, thank you very much.